So Ming Shi or Shi Ming has a buzz after her head kick knockout of Xiao Khan Feng. Okay, this was her first knockout in a long time. Most of her wins have come by decision. She has a couple submissions in there. She has 5 losses. So I would say that she will suffer more losses in the UFC. This is just one of those fights where, she looked good. Her opponent was actually on a longer win streak. She herself was on a 5-fight win streak, or currently. Her opponent was on a longer win streak. So there you go. So I would have been rooting for this fighter to win the fight. That would have been a mean win streak to brag about. You see what I'm saying? This is a good example of what I was talking about. And going forward, I'm rooting, and I'll just have to figure it out. Because there's a good chance a lot of fighters will be, both coming off a win or both coming off a loss. Maybe both on win streaks. Maybe they're both making their UFC debut. And again, I'll dig, even if it has to come down to whoever I think has the most potential or skill set. If one is a pure striker, the other one is more complete, I'm going to be rooting for the more complete fighter to win. That's just how I'm rolling going forward. What needs to be focused on, emphasized on, what people need to bring attention to is a lack of standout fighters. That is the main number one problem. None of you are really popping off like that. There's just too few of them that are able to starch a large number of opponents. You don't even have to be undefeated. All you need is a long win streak. A long win streak. All you need is to be exceptional among your peers. There's just not enough of them. They come through every now and then, but there's just not enough of them. Wei Li looks like she's on her way to a strong win streak, and I'm totally behind Wei Li because we all know anytime she fights, it's going to be entertainment. We're not going to be bored out of our minds, okay? A lot of people criticize Valentina's style. Look, when she's not blanketing people, I usually enjoy her patient style of fighting. I just don't like that type of style where she's just laying on somebody and tapping them. But just imagine if Shi Ming went out very next fight and got sparked. I think this strawweight division. Let's say they put her up against the strawweight debut killer Sam Hughes or something. She gets sparked by Sam Hughes. What a waste of momentum. That's what I'm supporting. Momentum. Just like in Mortal Kombat, when the aggressor thing starts flashing. Aggressor. Which means you're doing well right now. You're landing good shots. You're not absorbing. You're doing well. So you have what? Momentum. I'm getting behind whoever has momentum. No more of this. If you getting back in the win column, I'm disappointed. But now that you're in the win column, you have the opportunity to have the momentum. Because you then next might be matched against somebody coming off a loss. And then in that fight, I'll be rooting for that fighter to win. That way I'm totally impartial to this. Nobody. I'm not biased towards nobody. And that's how it should be. At least for me, that's how I like it. Okay? And I'm not saying other people should be like that. We need people to be fanatics of fighters. We need that. Fighters need that. It helps their lifestyle. It keeps the business going. It keeps the sport going. I have no problem with that. I'm just saying that's just how I operate as a content creator. Now, this woman, here's the thing. She's a doctor. That's why she's making a lot of buzz. I think she's in the anesthesia or something like that. And I don't know how much of this it takes out of her life. But come on, man. Again, she's already had 5 losses. So there's a good chance she's going to lose again. But if she loses, let's say in her next fight, it's going to look bad. Going to look bad to see the momentum lost. And this is what that guy in that video was talking about. I shared it in the community section. He was talking about how we can't have anything good in WMMA. People are starting to recognize this. People have already recognized it long before I did. That's the problem with the women. There are not enough standout fighters. There's not enough fighters to get behind and say, hey, I really like this fighter. They got a lot of potential. And even if you suffer a loss, it's how you lose. It could be a fluke loss, and in which case you still have that momentum going. But there needs to be more standout fighters. Now, this fighter, Shi Ming, has made a statement. She's come out and said, when she's in the cage, she's the boss. That's what she said. She said, I'm small, but when I'm in the cage, I'm the boss. Now, okay, look, I'm not going to hold that against her, but look, I'm looking for it. I'm going to be looking for it going forward. Going forward, I'm going to expect you to live up to your word. Be the boss in there every single time. And just keep knocking your opponents out. But at least builds a win streak. Build off of this. That's another thing. She gets a head kick knockout like this. If she only has a 5-fight win streak, let's say she wins the next 4 or 5 fights, that win streak of 5 to 6 fights will help her to generate more income than it would had she won by decision, all fights by decision. You see, the more sponsors going to reach out like, hey, she's got a buzz right now. Hey, can you sell this for me or whatever? You get more interviews, whatever. But when you build that win streak, people start to say, hey, she really is good. And that's what the sport needs. Standout fighters. Understand also, that's why so many of these girls have been rewarded. Well, we could talk about this all day. Weili got sort of expedited because she was not losing. She was winning. Joanna got expedited because she was not losing. They wanted badly to capitalize on the momentum generated by not losing, being a standout fighter. UFC understands what this is all about. Okay, there's another content creator made a video talking about how a certain fighter's stock went up and went down, and Wang Kong was on the list as one of the fighters whose stock went down after the loss this weekend. And that's part of the problem. You come off a huge knockout win like that, and in your very next fight look horrible. A lot of inconsistency with the women. That's what it is. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to put pressure on. Put pressure on them to be more dominant and consistently dominant. Because I'm sorry, a lot of times when they're in there, they look so different. And it seems so obvious that they go in there dealing with emotional issues or whatever. You got to stay focused when you're inside that cage, man. No more you showing up one night, then you're not showing up another night. I know it happens, but standout fighters is what the sport needs.